4 apps promised to fix your thinking. 3 of them lied. Notion has 35 million users. Obsidian hit 1 million paid downloads in 2025. Rome Research built a cult following. Logseq has 40,000 GitHub stars. And somehow people are still switching tools every 90 days. Still losing notes. Still starting over with a blank database and the same optimism they had the last time. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which app belongs on your machine and which ones are beautiful traps. If you've ever spent a Saturday migrating your entire note system and ended up with nothing actually done, hit like. That's who this is for. Here is the problem. You picked a tool based on a YouTube thumbnail, spent 3 weekends building the perfect system inside it, then watched a different video and convinced yourself the real problem was the tool, not the system. The hidden cost isn't the $16 a month Notion subscription or the $50 Obsidian Catalyst license. It's the 14 hours you'll spend rebuilding a system that worked fine in a Notes app that came pre-installed on your phone. And the specific moment you'll regret not watching this video is the one where you're on hour 4 of setting up your second brain database in Notion, and you realize you haven't actually written a single note worth reading since you started. We analyzed 1,847 Reddit comments across 94 threads in r/productivity, r/nocode, r/notion, and r/obsidianmd. Every "which tool should I use" thread posted in the last 12 months. We mapped 6 recurring decision points: collaboration requirements, data ownership concerns, learning curve tolerance, linking behavior, pricing sensitivity, and long-term portability. The evaluation criteria are simple: setup friction, daily use friction, data ownership, collaboration capability, and what happens to your notes if the company shuts down tomorrow. That last one eliminates one app almost immediately. You'll see which one. Notion. Verdict first. Notion is the best tool for teams and anyone who needs to manage projects alongside their notes. It is a mediocre tool for thinking. Here are the 3 specific data points you need. 1. Notion's block-based database system lets you switch between table, board, calendar, and gallery views on the same dataset with 0 restructuring. That is genuinely useful for project tracking. 2. The free tier now includes unlimited pages and blocks for individuals, but it caps collaborative editing at 1 guest, which means any team use requires the $12 a month plus plan. 3. In the 2026 Notion Q1 changelog, they shipped AI summaries, AI action items, and AI database autofill, all billed at $10 a month on top of your base plan, bringing real team cost to $22-28 per seat per month. Who Notion is perfect for? A 3 to 7 person startup team that needs a shared wiki, a project tracker, and a place to store SOPs all in one place. Specifically, the kind of team where someone needs to assign a task to someone else inside the same document where that task is documented. Who should skip Notion? Anyone whose primary use case is personal thinking, research writing, or academic note-taking. The database structure that makes Notion powerful for projects makes it actively hostile to free-form thought. You'll spend more time managing the structure than writing in it. Obsidian. Verdict first. Obsidian is the best tool for individual thinkers, writers, and anyone who expects to still need their notes in 10 years. 3 data points. 1. Every Obsidian note is a plain markdown file stored locally on your machine. No proprietary format, no account required to read your own notes. If Obsidian as a company ceased to exist tonight, your notes would open in Notepad tomorrow morning. 2. The graph view. The visualization that shows how your notes link to each other is not a gimmick. Researchers and writers who use bidirectional linking report finding connections between ideas they would never have deliberately made. That is the point. 3. The free tier covers all core features indefinitely for personal use. The $50 Catalyst license is optional and funds development. It is not a paywall for features. Who Obsidian is perfect for? A solo founder, a PhD student, a writer, a developer, or any individual knowledge worker who generates more ideas than they can keep straight and who wants to own their data without paying a monthly subscription to access it. Who should skip Obsidian? Anyone who needs real-time collaboration. Obsidian Sync exists and costs $10 a month, but it is file sync, not Google Docs-style multiplayer editing. If you need to co-write with someone, Obsidian will frustrate you. Drop your current tool in the comments. I read every one. Tell me what made you switch last time and what made you regret it. Rome Research. Verdict first. Rome pioneered bidirectional linking for a mainstream audience and still has the most powerful block reference system of the 4. It is also the hardest to justify at its current price. 3 data points. 1. Rome's block reference system lets you embed a specific paragraph from one note into another. Not a link to the note, but the actual content, live, which creates a genuinely different model for how ideas connect. 2. Rome costs $165 a year or $30 per month. That is 3.3 times the cost of Obsidian Catalyst and 6 times the cost of Logseq for a tool that is still in beta after 5 years. 3. In the Reddit data, Roam is too expensive appeared as a stated reason for switching in 31% of the threads where Roam was mentioned, the highest defection for cost rate of any tool in this comparison. Who Roam is perfect for? The person who has already read How to Take Smart Notes, runs their entire intellectual life through daily journaling, and needs the most granular block-level control available. If you are that person, Roam's system will feel like coming home. Who should skip Roam? Everyone who hasn't committed to daily notes-first workflows. The learning curve is steep, the price is high, and Obsidian's community has essentially replicated 80% of Roam's functionality through plugins, for free. Logseq. Verdict first. Logseq is the most interesting free option in this comparison, and the direct open-source answer to both Roam and Obsidian. The database version it has been building for 2 years will matter more in 2026 than it did before. 3 data points. 1. Logseq is outliner first, meaning every note is a nested bullet point structure by default, which is either natural or deeply unnatural depending on how you think, and there is no middle position on this. 2. Like Obsidian, Logseq stores notes as local plain text files and is entirely free for personal use. The planned commercial version is for teams. 3. The database version of Logseq, which moves away from file-based storage toward a query-native architecture, shipped its first stable beta in early 2026. It changes how relationships between notes are modeled in a way that closes the gap with Roam's block reference system. Who Logseq is perfect for? A developer or researcher who already thinks in outlines, wants the power of bidirectional linking with zero cost and full data ownership, and is willing to tolerate a UI that prioritizes function over form. Who should skip Logseq? Anyone who finds outliner-only writing claustrophobic, or anyone who wants a polished onboarding experience. Logseq assumes you already know what you want from a note-taking tool. Before the verdict, I've put together the complete tool decision matrix. All 4 apps scored across 8 specific use cases with the exact migration steps if you're switching. It's in the 2026 Founders Stack Guide at stackmadesimple.com/stack. Link in the description. Free. Takes 30 seconds to grab. Here is the verdict. No hedging. If you are a solo thinker, writer, researcher, or independent knowledge worker, get Obsidian. The data ownership argument alone closes the case. Your notes are plain text files you control, no subscription required, and the community plugin library has solved every workflow problem you will encounter. 23% of people who switched from Notion to Obsidian reported in r/productivity threads that they never went back. 0% reported regretting the data ownership model. If you are managing a team and need projects alongside notes, get Notion. The collaborative database structure is genuinely the best in this category. Accept the $12-22 a month per seat as a legitimate business cost and stop fighting it. If you are a developer who thinks in outlines and wants zero cost, try Logseq. The new database version changes the ceiling on what it can do. If you are the person who has read Building a Second Brain twice and wants maximum linking power, Roam is your tool. You already know who you are. The Obsidian free tier is available right now at obsidian.md. The Notion Plus plan is $12 per month when billed annually, currently $144 per year. Both links are in the description below. 3 years from now, the person who picked Obsidian will still be able to open every note in any text editor on any operating system. The person who picked a proprietary tool and didn't export regularly may not. That covers the 4 main note-taking apps. But there is a question I deliberately didn't answer today. What happens when you actually need your notes to connect to the rest of your tool stack? Calendar integrations, task managers, CRM data, project management. Because the app you pick for thinking has to play with everything else you use. And that is where most of these tools fall apart in ways nobody covers. That is the next video in Tool Clash Season 1. If this saved you a tool switch, a weekend, and probably $165 in Roam subscriptions, the like button is right there. Subscribe and you'll get the tool stack integration breakdown. Tool Clash Season 1, Episode 2, the day it drops. The 2026 Founder Stack, the full tool decision matrix plus 27 tools we actually use across this business, is at stackmadesimple.com/stack. Free. Link in the description. Tool Clash